In this video, we're going to talk about the importance, the significance of the practice of meditation and why it is more important than your job, it is more important than your relationships, it is more important than everything that you do in your life, because everything that you do in your life comes from a certain sentiment, from a certain vibration, from a certain frequency. And if it's coming from an unbalanced frequency, an unbalanced place, an unbalanced foundation, then the house is going to crumble. It's a wooden house, just a little bit of little pieces of wood that are going to crumble sooner rather than later, believe me. Whereas with meditation, you're able to build a strong foundation from which you can operate, from which you can build the house. That is your job, that is your relationships, that is your projects, so on and so forth. So yeah, meditation is probably the most important thing that you can incorporate into your life. Now, you might ask yourself, why is that? And understanding, often Buddha says that ignorance is the reason why we keep getting stuck in the cycle of death and rebirth, samsara. We're not aware of our predicament. And, he says if we know, we gain wisdom, and we go past the veil of ignorance, then we're able to make better, wiser decisions, and we're able to even direct our next birth, etc., etc. In the same way, you might be a little hesitant about meditation. Why should I meditate? Isn't that boring? Sitting down and doing nothing. Really, really? Just sit down and do nothing? I could be playing Super Mario right now. I could be playing Call of Duty. I could be playing FIFA. Trying to kick somebody's ass. But here I am sitting down and doing nothing. That's boring. Okay, well, if you understand what meditation is, maybe that'll encourage you to do meditation, to incorporate meditation on a daily basis. This should be something that you do, much like you take a cold shower every morning, right? Take a cold shower every morning. Same thing. You should meditate every day. And the reason for that is this: we come into this dimension, into this plane of existence, and we are guided through our 5 physical senses. Okay, that is, in fact, our 6 senses. In Buddhism, there's 6, not 5. And I agree. 5 is just what science tells us, but there's 6 senses really. You have sight, you have smell, you have taste, you have touch, contact. Okay, that's so 1, touch, contact, sight is 2, hearing is 3, smelling is 4, taste is 5, and then the 6th one is thought. Okay, thought is a sense. You sense things with your thought. When you think about something, you're sensing it. Like if I think about a banana right now, I can sense the banana. Like, my thoughts are operating within this plane of existence. Okay, so we're born here into this nature package. This is a package. It works in this dimension, in this plane of existence, okay? And we're guided through our senses, basically. That's what we're guided through. So we develop these attachments and we develop these cravings and these desires, and we all have our little preferences based on our previous experiences. Maybe you grew up eating a certain type of chocolate, for example, my mom has this chocolate that she loves called Galaxy. Okay, now for some reason it's not here in Canada. It's not there, but it's a pretty well-known brand. Okay, she just loves it, and I grew up eating it, and I grew up really loving it, because it's so good. Okay, it's so good. So there, my senses, in this specific case, my taste sense, my taste buds, and all the chemical reactions that sort of come by as a result, have shaped my identity. So now my identity would be the guy who likes the Galaxy brand. And then that's when we have all these identities. We start to identify with sport teams, with certain foods, etc., etc. So what happens as we keep going through the experience of being alive, of being a sentient being in this particular realm, in this physical realm, is we start to develop attachments, and these attachments keep us here, and eventually we end up creating karma along the way, and that sort of, we keeps us stuck in the cycle, samsara, death and rebirth, death and rebirth. Okay, so as you can see, this can end up being a vicious circle because it's basically we're led by our senses, by our physical senses here, including thought. And we forget, we are in complete amnesia to the true nature of things. Okay? With the practice of meditation, you're able to, for once, go beyond the senses. You're able to withdraw from the senses, and now we're talking. Okay? Because now your awareness begins to expand beyond one plane of existence, beyond one particular reality. Okay, essentially now through the practice of meditation, you're able to jump from one timeline to another, from one part of the amusement park to another. For instance, when you sit down and meditate and you get in a deep meditative state, and in that meditative state, you visualize yourself, say in a beautiful warm beach. You have now jumped timelines from you laying on your couch to you being on the beach. So you see, in that space, your awareness becomes expanded, and it could start to be somewhere else, and it could start to be anywhere else, and it could start to become everywhere else. And then you could begin to have out-of-body experiences, astral projection. You could access the Akashic records, which is the causal plane, different part of the amusement park that we're in here. And then there's remote viewing. By the way, remote viewing is a thing. Remote viewing is you basically are able to be anywhere. The United States government has spies. Okay, remote viewers, spies, because they could sit there and they could go and spy on the Russian government or something, and they could see it in real time. Okay, this is real. This is the U.S. government. Okay, this is the United States government. They know about this stuff. They have people. They have people. They have people working for them that do remote viewing. Okay, so when you meditate, you withdraw from the five senses, from the physical senses, and you're now more into the awareness space, and that awareness could be directed however it is needed to be directed, whether you are doing remote viewing or out-of-body travel, or you're going to your past life or your future life, or you're communicating with spirits, you're communicating with the dead. Okay, so if you don't meditate, if you don't withdraw from your senses, then you're always going to be attached to something or other. You're always going to be driven by your senses. Oh my God, really, if you're going to liberate yourself from your addictions, let's say for example, food addictions, that takes a little bit of stepping back and sort of becoming an observer. So you observe the way you're programmed, like your favorite food comes. Let's say your favorite ice cream. You see your favorite ice cream. Now, if you're just a slave to your senses, you're run purely by your senses, you're not in the observer state, you run to the ice cream and you bite and you eat it and oh my God, it tastes so good, and you do it again. But if you could withdraw and become the observer of your senses doing their thing, not listen to judgment on it. Oh, you're just watching it. Oh, there's the, you can see the saliva being secreted in your mouth. Yummy. You can just, watch it, observe it. Your favorite ice cream is here. Are you gonna go buy it? Or do you feel like buying it? You're observing it. So you start to observe the way this programmed mechanism works. And you start to observe how you're just programmed. Like, it's your taste buds. They're programmed to like this ice cream. And so you're now programmed to go and buy it. So in that moment of contemplation and observing, you might decide to make a different decision. Or you might decide to go ahead with the decision. But now you have more choice, you have more awareness. Okay, because you see this nature package, which is just programmed behavior, doing its thing. Now, you might not be able to the first time stop yourself from buying the ice cream, but now at least you're aware of what's happening. So the next time it happens, you're aware. Oh, there it is again. There it is. Oh, this was your favorite ice cream growing up, and oh, there you are again. The program's kicking in, and then in that awareness, you could begin to change your programs. So maybe you're going to buy that ice cream 5 more times, and then as you're surrendering to the ice cream, you're surrendering to the programming. In that time period, you're going into your mind and changing some things, changing a little bit of the programming. Maybe the 6th time you come across that ice cream, the program is a new program has already finished installing. And that new program is, I no longer eat ice cream, I'll stick to fruits or something. So you instead, now the new program is you pass by the ice cream, but it doesn't even have any emotional reaction to you, because you've already gone and you've uninstalled the old program, and maybe you install a new program now, bananas. So then you pass by the bananas, and guess what happens? Saliva starts to secrete, and you're like, yummy, bananas, and you buy the bananas, new program. Okay? And then you have to observe that program if you want to change it in the future. Maybe you're eating too many bananas or something, or maybe you're on a path to become pranic living, like myself here. So now I have to watch because now for me, it's not the ice cream and that, but it's like the bananas. I love the bananas, the avocados, right? And I gotta be a little bit observant now of my behavior towards them, because believe me, now that I say banana, I can see here like saliva being secreted. Banana, yum. Okay, we're just programmed. We're programs running off. We're the watcher. The practice of meditation gets you to be the watcher. That you step back into the aloneness, into the oneness, into the creator, into the consciousness that is playing this movie. The programming is simply the movie playing. And the nice thing is you could take out a program, put in a program. Take out a program, put in a program. So the practice of meditation allows you to withdraw from the senses and then reprogram them if you would like, or do some changes, or do whatever you will. And it allows your awareness to be in other places of the amusement park. Otherwise, you're at the whim of your senses. You're at the whim of your programming if you don't meditate. You're at the whim of it. You're a slave. You're a slave, but you don't know you're a slave. You're a prisoner. But your predicament is you don't know you're in prison. Your prison is your senses. Your senses are your prison. They're your chains. Every one of your senses is your chains. Now, if you're living from the space of the observer, the watcher of the movie, you're watching the movie. You're not really a prisoner to the sense, because you're just kind of watching what's happening here. You're just watching it. Attachment happens when you're identified with your senses. Okay, if you're identified with a certain, if say somewhere in your neighborhood is a beautiful place, and whenever you look at it, wow, it's beautiful. But for whatever reason, it is time for you to move on. It is time for you to move to another city or something, a new job or whatever. Now, if you're simply identified by your senses, you're going to develop such attachments for this place. You're going to be miserable when you move to the new city or the new location that you're living in. If that's all you're identified with, it is your senses. Okay? Really, that's the prison. The prison is that we don't know we're in prison. Meditation allows you to withdraw, step back, become the observer, become the watcher. Watch it. You're just watching a movie. You're watching a movie. And that's when you begin to more and more access the cities that they talk about in Hinduism, the powers. You're not going to access those powers if you are at the whim of your senses. Okay, that's not going to happen. If the third eye is the observer's eye. It observes things. It goes on the balcony of life, sees things happening, sees the movie unfolding, sees that everybody's just a program unfolding, including yourself. And then from that observer, you could also change the programming so that a different movie unfolds. So then if you're having shitty relationships or a shitty job, guess what? Go meditate. And in that meditation, in that aloneness state, in that observer state, You could change some of the programming, and you could have some insights, some downloads, some universal downloads. And that'll make your relationships better, that'll make your work better, that'll make your projects better, everything better, really. Everybody reports feeling fantastic from meditation. Now, to take it even a step further, the more skilled you become as a meditator, the more access to cosmic energy that you have. Now, cosmic energy, simply, you have access to it when you sleep. This is the reason why you wake up feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, and if you have a cut on your hands and 2 nights of sleep, no more cut. You know, if you have a little zit, like a few days, no more zit. Because you're accessing cosmic energy, and every time you sleep, you access cosmic energy that comes into your physical body, physical vehicle in this dimension, and does all the work that needs to be done, the healing, everything else. Okay? So now, if you're a skilled meditator, you could access that energy, but in a conscious state, and you could direct it because you're conscious now. So you could direct it. There are stories of yogis who can grow a set of hair. Like, they're bald and they can grow hair on their head. Because they're accessing this cosmic energy, they're able to direct it, they can grow hair. Okay, there is so many crazy stories about yogis, okay? Highly skilled meditators. I was watching a documentary on Tibetan yogis. The secrets, look it up. The secrets of Tibetan yogis. There's like 8 parts to it. And I mean, these guys can literally control, they can decide when to leave their body, when to die. They can decide their next life. They can do anything they really want. If anything, pretty much, at that level. Because you access cosmic energy, and then from that place, you can direct it because it's conscious. When you're sleeping, it's unconscious. So in other words, when you're sleeping, cosmic energy comes in, does what is necessary, what is needed. But if you're meditating, because you have conscious access to cosmic energy, you could direct it however you wish. Okay, however wherever it needs, it's still wherever it needs to go. But now, because it's more conscious, you could put it wherever. So if you want to go look into your past lives, you could go look into your past lives. If you want to look into your future lives, you could look into your future lives. If you want to do remote viewing, you could do remote viewing. Okay, but you have to be highly skilled in it. So it is the most important thing you can do. The way, I talk about me taking on a project of eating less, becoming more chronic living. The way I'm going to be successful at doing that is not even sun gazing. That's going to be part of it. But it's meditation. Meditation, because, if you have very high skills, you can be in a meditative state very quickly, and it's training. It's like a sport. Meditation is like a sport. Folks, it's just like a sport. It takes training. You're looking for the compounded effects over years. Don't meditate for a week and be like, I'm feeling good, but not that good. Oh, I thought I would get more. No. This is years. This is like a sport. You're going to be a master meditator. Probably that 10,000 hour rule applies to it. You probably need many, many years, many, many hours of meditation before you can become that skilled. But once you're that skilled, you have access to cosmic energy. That's something. Then you'll have, you pretty much can be sustained energetically without eating. You can go and revel in the mysteries of your past lives. You can do so many things. Read into the Akashic records. Meditation is the key. Meditation is the foundation. Like Eli Tom, my teacher, my breatharian teacher, Eli Tom says, meditation is the foundation. Meditation should be the foundation of everyone's life. If meditation is the foundation of everyone's life, everybody would be much happier, much serene, much calm. Everybody's psychic powers and spiritual abilities would start to activate, and we can quickly do something about the mess that we're in right now. This big, giant mess. Okay? This consumerist machine that is just driving itself into extinction. Okay? So, go and meditate. Okay, go and meditate. Meditation is the next thing for me. It's my next cold shower. I'm going to keep telling you about it. Okay? I've told you enough about cold showers. You should be taking them by now. But meditation is the next one. Okay? So, We'll talk about different methods of meditation in future videos. Okay, there's a lot of them, and I'm experimenting with many different methods, and yeah, we'll talk more about different methods. So that's about it. I want to give a special shout out, a big heart thank you to our patrons, my family over in patrons. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. You guys are generous. I'll take a bow to you, so thank you very much. And if you would like to support us and give me more time to meditate, if you'd like to support the growth of this community, financially, then you could do so on Patreon. You could join the family, okay, the inner circle, if you will. You could just put in $2 a month, honestly, to show your appreciation. And it really helps, if everybody was to pitch in just couple bucks a month, then I could sort of do this full time, direct my full attention here, even have more time to meditate. And that's kind of what the Buddhist way of going about things is. They, historically, they were given alms, they were given food and everything they need from the people, the lay people, so that these yogis, these monks, could sit down and meditate and gain better insights, etc., etc. So if you guys want to act as that, and I can act as the monk here, the YouTube monk, that'd be pretty cool. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so thank you guys, love you all, and until next time, may the force be with you.